Hi, I'm Pastor Michelle Abbott at Knoll Lutheran Church. Welcome to this week's Midweek Check-In. Our reading from this past Sunday was from the book of Genesis, and it was part of the story of Abraham and Sarah. At this point, they had been waiting many years for the promise that God had given them that they would have a child would be fulfilled. And quite honestly, by this point in their lives, they were old and they had given up on that promise. Well, then in the reading from Sunday, God shows up, quite literally, only God was disguised as an unexpected visitor, and they served him dinner, and during dinner, God says, well, you know what? Sarah is going to have a baby in the next year. Well, that was so ridiculous, so preposterous that Sarah laughed. Sarah doubted God. Now, you and I often hear these stories in scriptures, and we think that all those people in the Bible had unshakable faith, that that's why they're in scripture, because they had faith and they never, ever doubted. But the truth is that isn't what scripture says at all. A whole bunch of people in scriptures had doubts and worries and questioned God. That is part of a life of faith. But you and I, sometimes we don't believe that. We think that if we are faithful children of God, our faith should be unshakable. But the truth is, what we believe in is a little bit crazy, a little bit amazing, a little bit miraculous. And the world we live in is complicated and messy, and so we do doubt. Well, when that happens, don't start getting down on yourself or feel like God's going to be upset with you. That isn't the case. But what you might do, what you can do, is pray, is come to church, is talk about it with a friend or a family member, especially a faithful friend or family member. Be open about what you're dealing with. And hopefully through that process, you will begin to recognize that God is at work in your life. And as you recognize that, your hope and your trust and your faith renewed. You know what? Sarah laughed at God, but that did not make God give up on her. God continued to work in her, bringing about new life and new creation, quite frankly. And God can do the same thing in you and in me. And for that, thanks be to God. Have a great week. Hope to see you on Sunday.